Chapter 17. Water, O Water. In this chapter, you will learn about old to modern sources of water. What floats, sink or mixes in water. Water for irrigation. Diseases spread from stagnation of water. Factoid. Water sustains life on earth. Boli was playing with the running water and stopping her mother to fill the containers. Her grandpa watched this and advised Boli to stop wasting the water. He told that water is very precious, and when he was young, they did not have such facilities. They did not have taps that offered running water all the time. When they lived in Rajasthan, they went to the Boli to collect the water for drinking and cooking. Boli on a stepwell is a man-made hole dug deep into the earth. It is miniature but deep pond. Boli understood the message and promised her grandpa not to waste the water again. Most of the houses in India have access to water through taps, either in the house itself or in the neighborhood. They either get municipal supply of water or fix submersibles for themselves. Many people who do not have public water supply use borewells in order to get access to underground water. Water from a borewell comes out through an electric motor. People have to stand in big lines for their turn to get water in the localities in which water is scarce. In these areas, water is supplied for a short time. There are some areas where municipal pipelines are not yet laid. Municipality supplies water to these areas by tankers. In some areas, people have to go long distances to fetch water from a nearby canal, river, well, pond, etc. Water for irrigation. In the olden times, farmers totally depended on rain as a source of water for their crop production. But today, we have a large network of irrigation comprising rivers, canals, ponds, etc. Besides this, farmers use some other means to irrigate their fields as the need of water is different for different crops. For instance, the standard grass crop grown in a semi-arid climate with a mean temperature of 20 degrees Celsius needs approximately 6.5 mm of water per day. The same grass crop grown in a subhumid climate with a mean temperature of 30 degrees Celsius needs 7.5 mm of water per day. In order to use groundwater for irrigation, water must be lifted to ground level for the fields to be watered. Nowadays, this is done with the help of tube wells. Tube wells are actually pumps which help to pull groundwater. However, in the olden days, when such modern pumps were unavailable, animals or humans themselves had to draw water from the ground. Let us learn about some ancient means of drawing water. Persian wheel. In a Persian wheel, a wheel attached with buckets is allowed to be submerged in the water. As the wheel is turned using a bullock, the buckets rotate, bringing water to the trough, which carries water to the fields. Denkli. It is also called paikotta or shadaf. It is a hand-operated device used for lifting water. In a denkli, a pole is unevenly mounted as a seesaw, with one end having a bucket and the other having a counterweight, which helps to lift the bucket up. The water is drawn by pushing down the bucket into the water, and the filled bucket gets lifted up by the counterweight. This was invented in ancient times and is still used in India, Egypt, and some other countries to irrigate land. Archimedes screw. The Archimedes screw is set at an inclination so as to have its lowest thread in the water course. As it revolves, the water at the lowest thread reaches the higher threads successively, while water continues to be lifted by the lowest thread. It is also an efficient method of lifting water. Besides water, It can also be used for lifting other pastes as mud, sand, gravel, etc. What floats, sinks or mixes in water? Take a plastic bottle and put it in water. What happens to it? Does it sink in the water? No, it floats on the water. Now, take a key and put it in the water. What happens to it? It sinks in the water. Why does a plastic bottle float on water while a key sinks? It happens because of the density of the objects. The heaviness or lightness of the object is called its density. If an object has density less than water, it will float, and if an object has density more than water, it will sink. The plastic bottle having lesser density floats on water, while a key made of steel has density more than water, and hence it sinks. Let us learn the procedure in more detail. An object floats when the weight force on the object is balanced by the upward push of the water on the object and the water pushed by the object. If the weight force down is larger than the upward push of the water on the object and it is not able to push away the water equal to its own weight, then the object will sink. But if an object is able to push away water having the amount equal weight of itself, then the object will float. Many objects that are hollow float because the hollow sections increase the volume of the object and so the upward push of water. However, it is not necessary for an object to contain air in order to float. Mixing in water. When a substance such as sugar is mixed in water, it becomes invisible to the naked eyes, while a substance such as sand is visible as it does not mix with it and layers down in. Substances which have an ability to be mixed or dissolved in water are called soluble substances. Salt and sugar are soluble substances because they dissolve in water. Substances which do not mix or dissolve in water are called insoluble substances. Wood, sand and soil are insoluble in water. Some liquids mix with each other, but all liquids do not. For instance, water and milk mix well with each other, but oil and water do not mix with each other. Diseases spread from stagnation of water. Stagnation of water is very dangerous. You would have surely seen stagnant water around your locality or house. In this water, you can see tiny insects. They are mosquitoes. The stagnant water is their breeding place. A mosquito is an insect that spreads some of the worst diseases like malaria, dengue, encephalitis, filariasis, and yellow fever. A mosquito has a slender body with scaled wings and long legs. Only the female mosquitoes suck blood from mammals, including human beings. In contrast, the male mosquitoes feed on plants. The female mosquitoes can locate their victims primarily through odor. They are sensitive to carbon dioxide being exhaled with breath. Mosquitoes do not really bite because they cannot open their jaws. When a mosquito bites, it actually stabs through the victim's skin with 6 needle-like mouthparts, proboscis. As these needles enter the skin, the mosquito releases its saliva, which prevents the blood from clotting. The mosquito easily sips the blood as it works like a straw. The saliva it releases contains disease-causing bacteria. Malaria. Malaria is a disease caused by the mosquito bite. It occurs with high fever and chills, which are recurrent in nature. The sick person should immediately be referred to the doctor, as malaria is a life-threatening disease. If proper precaution is taken, malaria can be treated well. Do you know? Malaria can be prevented by avoiding exposure to mosquitoes and use of mosquito repellents and nets. Limelight. To quench someone's thirst is considered a holy deed in our country. Thus, Several piaus are established with a belief that offering water to the thirsty solaces them. Keywords: humid, marked by a relatively high level of water vapor in the atmosphere. Floats, a thing that is buoyant in water. Sink, go down below the surface of something.